This is Ben McGahee with Yamie Chess. I'm going to be your math teacher today. Yamie Chess is the math learning aid based on classic chess that helps students in math and science education for school. In this lesson, we will learn about units of measurement. We will learn about units of distance and units of time. So let's first look at the units of distance. We have the centimeter, the inch, the foot, the yard, and the mile. Now notice that there are abbreviations for each of these units. For the centimeter, we have cm. For inch, we have in. For foot, we have ft. For yard, we have yd. And for the mile, we have mi. Then we have the units for time. We have second, minute, hour, day, and year. So the abbreviation for second is S. Abbreviation for minute is MIN. Abbreviation for hour is HR. And there's no abbreviation for day, it's just DAY spelled out. And then for year, the abbreviation for year is YR. So now we're going to learn about things called conversion factors, where we get to convert from one unit to another, and we have to know some equivalencies of how to define one unit in terms of another unit. So, for example, let's look at the units of distance. We're going to look at the inch, and we're going to see that 1 inch, and we'll abbreviate that as IN, equals 2.54 centimeters, cm. So 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. Next we go to foot. So we're going to know that 1 foot, ft, equals 12 inches, in. So 1 foot equals 12 inches. Then we'll go to the yard. And so we'll see that 1 yard, YD, equals 3 feet, FT. 1 yard equals 3 feet. And then for the mile, we'll have 1 mile equals, this is going to be a big number, 5,280 feet. MI for mile, 1 mile is 5,280 feet. FT is for foot. Okay, so those are the conversion factors that we're going to use when we're learning about the units of distance, how we can convert from one unit to another. Now likewise, we're going to see the units of time, those conversion factors. And we're looking at the second. And we're going to see that 1 minute, MIN, equals 60 seconds, S. So 1 minute equals 60 seconds. And then for an hour, 1 hour, 1 HR equals 60 minutes, MIN. And so this would be for the minute, 1 minute 60 seconds. And then for the hour, we have 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And now for the day, we're going to have 1 day equals 24 hours. So that's HRS for hours. And then finally for the year, we'll have 1 year, YR equals 365 days, DAYS. So this is for one regular year, not a leap year. 1 year is 365 days. Okay. So it's important to know that all of these units for the distance and time, we're kind of going from the smallest unit to the largest unit. So for the distance, we see that the centimeter is the smallest unit, and then if we move all the way down to the mile, that would be the largest unit. And likewise for time, the second would be the smallest unit, and then going all the way down to the year, that would be our largest unit for time. So we have our conversion factors, from converting one unit to another for distance and time. And now let's say that we wanted to combine the distance and time together. So if we were to divide the distance, the unit of distance, and divide that by a unit for the time, this would give us what's called a rate. So this rate kind of tells us, how fast an object is moving. So like for example, you may have a car that's traveling 50 miles per hour. Right, so the distance for the unit would be the miles, and then the unit for time would be hours. So you take the distance unit, miles, and divide it by the time unit, that's hours. So you get miles per hour. So this means that the car is traveling 50 miles every hour. Okay. So let's look at our next slide for some examples. And let's say we want to convert 36 inches to feet. So we want to start with the inches, and then we want to convert to feet. Okay, so we'll have 36 inches. And the way we're going to do this is we have times for multiplication, and then we'll draw a line here. And the unit that we want to convert to, which is feet, we're going to write that on top, like in our numerator. And then the unit inches that we worked with in the beginning that we want to cancel would be in our denominator. So there's inches in the denominator. So we need to know, how many inches are in 1 foot. So if we go back to our units of measurement, we see that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So there we go. So we use this conversion factor. So we have 12 inches, 1 foot. And then what happens is that the inches, top and bottom, so they will cancel. And then we're left with the units of feet. So that's going to equal 36 multiplied by 1 is 36. And then we have over divided by 12. And 36 divided by 12 will give us 3, right? 3. And then we have feet. So 36 inches equals 3 feet. Okay, let's look at our second problem. It says, how many minutes are in 1 day? How many minutes are in 1 day? So let's see what we know. We start with 1 day. And the unit for day is what we start with, is day, so we want to write that on the bottom. And the unit that we want to know is minutes. We don't know exactly how many minutes are in a day, but if we refer back to our units of measurement, the conversion factors for time, we do know that 1 day equals 24 hours, right? And we know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So let's use those factors to convert. So we're going to have 1 day (24 hours) and now that we have hours on top, we want to put hours on bottom. And we want minutes on top because that's our units we want to convert to. So we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So now we cancel out units. We have day on top, day on bottom, those cancel. We have the hours on top, hours on bottom, they cancel. And then that leaves us with our final units that we want, which is minutes. So since all the numbers look to be on top, it looks like we just multiply straight across, right? We do 1 times 24 times 60. And the ones on the bottom, we don't worry about those because we know anything over 1 is divided by 1's itself. So we're okay there. So we're going to multiply 1 times 24 that's 24. And then we'll multiply by 60. And so a little trick to do this is when you have a number with the 0 right next to it, is just to multiply the numbers that don't have zeros in it, and then just add 0 at the end of your answer. So we'll do 24 times 6 to the side. So then 4 times 6, 24, and carry the 2. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 2 is 14, so that's 144. And then we know that 24 times 60, we add that 0 at the end, is 1,140. So 1,140 minutes. Okay. Now, for our last problem, number 3, we want to convert what's a rate, because we have 45 miles per hour, and then we want to convert this to the other unit, feet per second. Okay, so let's work on that. So we have 45 miles per hour. And we have not converted, when we have the distance and time together when they are divided by one another. But the easiest way you do it is very similar to the first and second problems. You just have an extra unit to deal with, that's the time. Is you take the mile, write that on the bottom, and since we want to go to feet, we write that on top, and then we do times, let's see, we want seconds, right? And we want seconds to be on the bottom, so we write that on the bottom. And if the hours is on bottom, we have to have hours on top so they can cancel, right? But we don't know exactly how many seconds are in an hour. However, we do know how many minutes are in an hour. We know that 60 minutes are in an hour, so maybe we'll just do that instead, right? We'll replace this with minutes there, and then we can go from the minutes, because this will come on top and then seconds will come on the bottom, right? So if the unit you want to cancel out is on the bottom, you have to write it somewhere on the top, so those will go away. And if your unit is on top and you want it to cancel out, you have to write it on the bottom. So let's fill in the blanks here. We have 45 miles per hour, and we know from our conversion factors, let's go here, we know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So we will use this factor to convert. So 1 mile, 5,280 feet. That's a pretty big number. We also know that 60 minutes is 1 hour. And we know that 60 seconds is 1 minute. So let's see what happens here. We have the miles cancel out, and that leaves us with the feet. And we see that hours cancels out, and we see that minutes also cancels out. and then we're left with seconds on the bottom. So you can see we have the feet per second, feet divided by seconds. So this is going to give us, we have, what's that, 45 times 5,280 all over 60 times 60. So now if you have a scientific calculator or a graphing calculator, I encourage you to use that right now to calculate this expression, 45 times 5,280 over 60 times 60. Now 60 times 60, that little trick we did earlier, just multiply the numbers, the non-zero numbers. 6 times 6 is 36, and then you just add the two zeros that you have right here, and so we have 3,600. And let's do 45 times 5,280. So that's going to be 237,600. Okay, and then we divide that by 3,600, and we see we get 66 feet per second. So, if you have a car traveling 45 miles per hour, it's going to travel at an equivalent speed of 66 feet per second. Okay, so let's go to a couple of problems that I'll let you try on your own. Feel free to have that calculator, a paper, pen, or pencil handy to work out the problems, and feel free to pause the video for a few minutes to work them out, and then we'll go over the answers. Okay, let's go over the answers to this problem. We have a man runs 2.5 miles. How many yards did he run? How many yards did he run? So what we're going to do is start with the 2.5 miles, and then we convert the miles to feet. So we know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. And then we're going to convert the feet to yards. So we know that 1 yard is 3 feet. And so we see that our units for miles will cancel, and our units for feet will cancel, and that'll give us yards. And so that's going to equal 2.5 times 5,280 on top, and then divided by just the 3 on the bottom. And let's see, using our calculator, we'll multiply all that together. So you get on top 13,200 over 3. And when you divide by 3, you get 4,400 yards. So, is that the correct answer? Yep, 4,400 yards. Okay, so now second problem. It's a little more involved because we're dealing with the rate, so we have more units to deal with. We have a car travels speed of 40 feet per second. The speed limit is 25 miles per hour. Question is a car speeding? Is it going over the speed limit? Which is the last thing that we want to do when driving, because police car or a police officer will pull us over and give us a ticket. So definitely don't want to do that. So what we need to do is we need to convert 40 the feet per second and we have the units in feet per second, but notice that the speed limit's in miles per hour, so it might help us to convert the feet per second. Maybe convert that into miles per hour, so that way you can compare the two units to see if he's going, around 25 miles per hour, maybe he's going a little under or over 25 miles per hour. So we'll set up our units. We'll have feet on bottom, miles on top. We'll have the seconds, we'll go to minutes, and then we'll have minutes to hours. So we know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. 60 seconds are in a minute, and 60 minutes are in 1 hour. So we'll cancel out. The feet cancel. We're left with miles. Seconds cancel. Minutes cancel. Left with hours. So this is going to give us 40 times 60 times 60 on top, all over 5,280 on the bottom. So we could do that little trick again. You can do 4 times 6. It's 24. When we knew that 4 times 6, that was 144 earlier. And then we just add the zeros. So we'll have 144,000 all over 5,280. And this will equal, let's see, we have 144,000 divided by 5,280. Let's see what this gives us. About 27 point. Looks like you get 2727 repeated, right? So it just keeps repeating. So 27. So it's about 27 if we round to the nearest whole number. And so we know that 27 is greater than 25, because this is in miles per hour, 27. So he's going about 2 miles per hour over the speed limit. So the answer would be yes. He is definitely going over that, and the answer key says yes, so we're good. Okay. This has been McGahee, and I want to thank you for watching this lesson on units of measurement. And please stay tuned for more lessons on YamieChess.com. Have a great day.